so we're going to get into the founder deep dive. Are you ready?
Yes,
Okay.
totally.
What would you do if someone suddenly gave you $500,000?
Oh, $500,000. I would absolutely put it into marketing. So I think a big, not problem, but something that we are finding. So Mobius is just two people. It's myself and my co-founder Julia, and we are both software engineers and personal trainers. As I said, we are not marketers. And so we are doing as much as we can, posting on social media. We don't do paid ads. Because again, we just don't have the money for that. So being able to hire someone to help us with the marketing and just visibility of Mobius, I think a lot of people are going to, every time I have a conversation about Mobius, it's usually met with, wow, yeah, totally get that. As like consumer, on the consumer side. Again, investor side is a little bit different, but every time that someone I'm talking to every day, like an everyday person, they immediately get it. And so I really think it's just a visibility thing for our brand. So that is where a lot of the money would go. It would also go into events. We want to sponsor some people that are doing what we are also like saying. We're local to New York City. There are so many cool communities that are meeting right now in fitness that are doing what we like our same ethos, and they're meeting in person. And so we want to help them. We want to sponsor some of their events. We host 2 events per month, so it would go also into some of those. Right now, we're doing like in the park yoga, which is so much fun because we don't really have money to put down for big events. So it would be nice to give back to the people that are supporting our community right now by giving them these kind of events, sponsoring other communities with similar ethos, and then also again just getting more brand visibility. Because we already built the app, so we just need to get it out there.
We need people to know about it and to engage with it. I gotcha. Okay, so what is one financial or any reality, actually, of building your business that rarely gets talked about?
Surviving as the founder. I think a lot of times it's the what is it, 2% of startups are successful. A lot of people have to quit because they can't survive off of no money. And I think the classic thing that you learn when you're first starting is you don't pay yourself. That is like, if you go to an investor and you're like, I'm going to pay myself a living salary and maybe add to some of my savings, they'll be like, I'm not giving you money to pay you to live. No, I'm paying you to go make this company big. Which again is so fair. I get it. That's a culture. That's fine. I'm signed up for it. I am bought in. But that is something I think that is rarely talked about. It's only talked about behind the closed doors. No one said, I remember when I put my first pitch together and I was showing it to someone that's like kind of in the space, and I had like a salary on there and they're like, take it out. No one's gonna invest in you if you have this salary. And I was like, really? I have rent to pay. But so I think that is something that's rarely talked about, especially in the startup world, especially financially. Like, you have to be okay with living on very little. But the whole idea is the payout in the end.
Right.
So that's kind of what your guiding North Star is.
Gotcha. Okay, so how did you decide to take the leap to seek outside capital? I'm assuming that because you've been talking about investors, so.
Yes. So it really comes down to we want this to scale, and we know what our barrier is, and we know what's working. We have traction. We have almost 500 users, and that has been on basically word of mouth and just our own social media. And the fact that we're getting traction and people are liking what we're producing for them, but we now need to get it to scale. That's why we're looking for outside capital. And yeah.
Yeah, makes total sense. Now, what fears did you have to overcome to do that?
Rejection.
Yeah, kind of obvious.
Getting used to people saying no. And so I think that, because especially when we get really good feedback. I haven't had someone tell us that this is a bad idea, even investors.
Right.
But not every good idea is something that people want to financially back.
Right.
And that is something you have to accept and just move on from. And so just like the rejection, I remember I say this to a lot of people that are starting out in entrepreneurship. The highs are some of the best highs you'll ever feel, because it's something when you're feeling that high, it's because you probably have hit a milestone or an outcome that you really had worked towards. And it's like, wow, I did this, I built this. So what an incredible high you have. But then when you're at those lows, woof, they are low. Because again, a lot of people are tying their identity, it's like their baby. to this company. And so when you're at that low, it's like, I am a failure. I did this. Like, I'm failing at this. So those lows are really hard. And I remember I had one of those really low days and I just watched Legally Blonde and I was like, I'm back.
Those little things that help us out. We all have that thing that helps us. Yeah. I'll tell you something really fun. One of mine is, so Daffy Duck and, so I love Daffy Duck. He cracks me up. But when he's Robin Hood, one of the things, the thing that makes me laugh so hard, no matter what, is when he's swinging across the trees and yikes and away, and he hits each tree. Whenever I'm feeling down, all I have to do is watch that. And I just start laughing, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm back.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, laughing is such a helpful thing. And it also almost, low-key, I'm sure in your subconscious, you're like, I get that. I feel like I've just hit every single tree.
Yeah. That's the other part. No, look at you. You're so smart. Okay. What did you almost do instead of taking this leap to do this?
Oh, I've had so many different, I have ADHD, and so I like a lot of things. And so there was a part of me that wanted to go fully into sustainability. My undergraduate was civil and environmental engineering, so I'm very passionate about sustainability. And one of my roles in the construction job that I was in, part of it was I was leading a lot of the sustainability efforts in New Jersey. Oh, wow. And so that had to do with where the waste are, I was the subject matter expert for waste. And so I was getting really into it, and it ended up the garbage world of recycling and garbage is very political, and I had no idea. And so getting into all of those, I thought I was going to get in get a job within that company that was going to be head of sustainability for construction. I really thought I was going down that road. And I also was looking at other jobs in sustainability. And then I also thought I would be an influencer in fitness as a possibility. I went through this basically cult, but an MLM scheme. But I did this whole how to get high end ticket, whatever, clients for fitness. And because I was this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to become a celebrity trainer. I'm going to be an influencer and blah, blah, blah. And these are all, and then I also thought I was going to be an actress at one point.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought I was going to do a lot of things. I have a lot of interests. I also love marine biology. I really wanted to go, even then I was I'm just going to go out and find a secluded island that I can help with sustainability and cleaning up and all of that stuff, and learning more about the biochemistry and all of that, and the marine wildlife. And that was all within a span of 2 years. I had all these attempts. So yeah, there are a lot of things, but I will say the fitness there was always an I was while I do this, I will still do this in fitness. While I do this. So I was okay, the through line is I'm still trying to add fitness to every single element of this. Right.
Well, you never know. You could always still be an actor. I mean, come on. Anything can happen.
Oh, I don't deny. I am always when I'm done with this, I will be going and just trying out for roles.
Next thing we know, you get an Oscar, and she's an overnight sensation. There you go.
I have dreams of this.
Perfect. Perfect.